Hello folks and welcome to STB Does Gin 2.0. Why is it 2.0? Because I've done this before. I'm relaunching my YouTube channel. I started off doing some gin reviews, I think maybe 2 years ago now, maybe last year, I can't remember. But I've been wanting to get back on YouTube for a while, or if you're watching this on Facebook, I'm going to put these on Facebook as well, but these are primarily going to be launched on YouTube. But I've been trying to think of a new format that I could do all about gin. It's the gin videos that are always getting loads and loads of views on my YouTube channel. So what can I do? So I have come up with a brand new format, reviewing gins and reviewing different flavour combinations with them as well. Sort of tonics. You can kind of see what we're potentially going to do right in front of me, hopefully. So we're going to kick off. This is launching on June the 9th, 2018. World Gin Day for 2018. This is when this video has gone out for the first time. So, and it's a great day to launch my channel again. It's going to be a playlist, as I've said, STB, not STD. STB Does Gin 2.0 with a slight difference. So the first gin I want to kick off with is one of my, I wouldn't say all-time favourite gins, but one of my favourite gins over the last certainly 3 to 4 years. These guys, actually, Warner Edwards, launched roughly the same time as I did when I launched my business back in 2012. I launched in November. These guys launched a month after me in December 2012. So I've kind of been watching them grow as much as doing what I've done, and I absolutely love their products. They are great gins. They are a gin distillery just based outside, just to the west of Kettering, in a village called Harrington, probably about 8 to 10 miles, maybe not that far, just west of Kettering, which is Northamptonshire. Their Harrington Dry Gin is a lovely classic sort of London dry gin. 11 botanicals in it. You've obviously got your juniper, your coriander, your angelica roots, and most gins have got lemon peel and orange peel in there. But they've got 11 botanicals in total. They've got cardamom, they've got coriander, they've got cardamom, they've got cinnamon, they've got black pepper, they've got dried elderflower in there, which is that's a bit unusual actually in a lot of London dry gins. And they've got some nutmeg, I think it is, and they've got a very secret last ingredient. No one really knows, apart from obviously the guys at Warner Edwards, what that last botanical is, but they keep that closely under wraps. No idea, couldn't even guess. But the rhubarb gin, absolutely love this stuff. It's not to be confused with some other products out there that you might see in your supermarkets. This is a proper gin. This is not a liqueur. This is a full strength, 40% full strength rhubarb gin. So it's not a syrupy sweet rhubarb gin liqueur like a couple of other brands that you'll see in your supermarkets. There is another really good, Whitley Neal do a really lovely rhubarb and ginger gin. That's a gin as well, not a liqueur. But I like to use this. I use this a lot in gin and tonic bars. I use this quite a lot in cocktails actually as well. Phenomenal cocktails. But this is their Harrington London Dry Gin, and it's pressed. So the rhubarb, there's a story about the rhubarb. It's the same rhubarb that Queen Victoria used to grow, hence Victoria's rhubarb gin. Way back in the day, I think half of it went to Buckingham Palace to be grown and the other half went to Lincolnshire, something like that. I don't know the full story. But it's that same brand of rhubarb, whatever you want to call it, that same variety, there we go, not brand, that same variety of rhubarb that's grown very locally to them in Lincolnshire, where they are in Kettering. It's not a million miles away from Lincolnshire, so it's grown then. The fruit is then brought back and pressed, so the juice is then blended with the Harrington Dry Gin and then brought down to the ABV that they want. Now, the cool thing about them is, Warner Edwards, the cool thing about them is they use spring water from their own farm. So it's really pure, you know, there's no bottled water or tap water or anything like that. It's spring water coming from their own farm. And another cool fact that I love about them as well, I heard this a couple of years ago, really didn't know the story behind that, but I was chatting to Andy. I'm not sure what his role there is at Warner Edwards now, probably a commercial manager, something like that. But I was chatting to Andy at one of the bar shows, and he told me about their still is called Curiosity, because custom built still, lovely big copper still, custom built over in Germany. And apparently when they brought the still over and they were setting it in concrete on the stand, they left the concrete to set overnight, and one of their cats left a paw print in the concrete, and they started thinking about it, and they thought the cat was curious of what was going on there, so they named their still Curiosity, which I absolutely love. That's a brilliant story, love that. And they've also just invested, I think, where are we, we're in 18 now, so 2016 they just invented, so that's Curiosity is a big 500 litre still, so you can imagine the amount of volume that's kicking out. They invested in the tail end of 2016 in a smaller still, and that still is called Satisfaction. Now it's a 50 litre still, I do believe, I think I can remember that right. It's a 50 litre, which allows them to play with lots of different botanicals, lots of different flavours to create new products. Now some of their new products out there at the moment, the elderflower gin, now alright, that's been out there quite a while, absolutely lovely, proper full strength elderflower gin. They've got Melissa gin that's been around for maybe a year or so now. It's lemon balm and maybe a bit of mint in there as well, but that's a really botanical gin, absolutely phenomenal. And they've just, I did get a little sip of this last year, but they've just properly launched Honeybee, which is their brand new gin. Again, I think this sounds actually, if I remember rightly, I think this one's slightly stronger than 40. It may be about 42%. Don't hold me to that. I can't remember. I've not seen the bottle yet, but I think it's slightly stronger. But it's they've blended with honey and beeswax. That they've actually got hives on their farm where they distill their gin. So really lovely, brilliant stories. Anyway, let's get on to a bit of tasting. Don't want to waffle on too much. I want these videos to be 5, 7, 10 minutes, something like that. Something you can have a cup of tea to, or a gin and tonic. That'd be better, wouldn't it? So we're going to get into that. I'm going to try it now. I want to show you how to taste gins. When you go into your pubs, your bars, and you want to try it, it's a really good idea to taste the gin before the bartender mixes it with tonic. So I want to show you how to do it. Now, most pubs or bars are going to use their big, lovely 16-ounce glasses. If you're going to do this at home, what you need to invest in is one of these. I'll drop a link, an affiliate link to Amazon in the show notes for this as well. But this is an ice cube tray, obviously. I don't know whether you... Let's show you. It dishes out those 5cm ice cubes. They are absolutely brilliant for gin balloons. You won't be able to see it, but my freezer to the left of me, I've got about 20 of those in my freezer, and I do it about 2 or 3 times a week to get myself loads of nice chunky ice cubes for my bars at the weekend, for my events, because they are just brilliant, especially in the big gin balloons. You don't want the small slushy stuff like that, it's just going to melt. So yeah, that's what I want you to do. Go and invest in one of them. That'll be brilliant if you've got gin balloons. They're only, I think it was like 4 or 5 quid for a pack of 2. So cheap as chips. But I'll stick the link, the affiliate links in my show notes. Anyway, this is what I want you to do. Now I'm just going to measure this. It all will become evident why I'm measuring this. So I've just got half a shot going in there at the moment. I'm tight as well. Now, all I want you to do is just swirl that around in your glass. Just get a bit of the ice, just dilute a little bit, because with a lot of 40% stuff, you need a little bit of water, just a tiny bit of water, just to bring even more flavours out of the actual liquid. So that's kind of what we're doing now. When you're ready, oh, that is, you can drink that neat all day long. Just that little bit of ice, that little bit of water just melting off there. Tiny bit of water is lovely. It's, I'll be honest, I don't get too many of the botanicals. Get a big hit of juniper. I can really taste the juniper in there, but also I'm getting, ooh, maybe a bit of coriander actually as well. I can tell that because I'm not a huge fan of coriander. Don't like it when they chop it up and put it on top of your meals. Don't like that. But yeah, oh, that's lovely. Just drink neat. And it's not as sweet. That people, when they see fruity gins, they think they're going to be really sweet, and they're not. They're just well balanced. It is a little bit sweet, obviously. It's a bit of fruit in there, but it's just a well balanced gin. So that is perfect. Cheers. Now, what I want you to do, you can see these 6, hopefully see these 6 tonic waters or mixers beside. What I'm going to do in this series of videos is I'm going to test the one gin per episode with 6 different mixers, just to see what my favourite is. It's good for the bars as well, and hopefully help you as well, because it's not all about just a gin and normal tonic. It's about loads of different tonics. You can see some up here now. We've got basil, we've got hibiscus, cucumber, watermelon, cranberry and ginger. There's loads of different things out there for you to try now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test some gin and tonics. So the first one I've got, now you can see, now this is why I've done it. I've done this so they're all identical. What I've done is 5 ml of gin in there, and I've mixed that with 15 ml of mixer. So I like my drinks 1:3 ratio. Okay, if you're making a gin and tonic, start off with 1:2 and then dilute it down with a bit more tonic if you need to, 1:3. This is the point. If you go to a pub or bar and you order a single, that's 25 ml. If they stick a whole bottle of tonic water in, which is 200 ml, that is just completely and utterly drown the drink. For 25 ml, that's going to use less than half a bottle of tonic to make a perfect drink. Now, you might need it a bit more diluted down. Other people don't. I would ask the bartender to just give you the bottle and for tonic and let you do it yourself. But start off 1:2, 1:3, and then add a bit more tonic if need be. If you're having a double, that's obviously 50 ml. Again, that's 3/4 of the bottle. That is still not a whole bottle of tonic at 1:3. And you will notice the difference. You'll be able to taste your gins. Anyway, let's crack on with the waffle. So, the first one we're going with is Schweppes tonic water. So, and I've just got one solitary ice cube in there. Let's give it a go. Oh, I've actually never tried that with that. That's a really nice gin and tonic. Really like that. Really nice. So that's Schweppes and the Rhubarb Gin. Next one up, Fever Tree Tonic. Now, I actually don't use a lot of Fever Tree tonics on my bars. I use quite a lot of their flavoured, their elderflowers, their Mediterraneans, the lemon tonic, but I don't actually use too much of this because I personally prefer Schweppes. But we'll see. We'll see what it tastes like. Oh, it's good again. It's bitter. It's more bitter. Definitely more bitter. Exactly the same ratios. 5 ml of gin to 15 ml of tonic water. But you can definitely taste the bitterness coming through with the Fever Tree as opposed to Schweppes. Yeah, definitely prefer the Schweppes. Definitely. Right, the third combination we're going for, Fever Tree Mediterranean. Now, Fever Tree's Mediterranean tonic is, if I'm right, I think it probably says on the bottle, but it's slight hint of lemon and thyme, I think it is, if I really remember. Can't see it. I'm not going to waste time reading that. Floral botanicals. I'm sure it's a slight hint of lemon and thyme. That's what they use in there to give it its Mediterranean kind of twist. That's a really nice drink. Slightly masks the taste of the rhubarb. The rhubarb really comes out with those two. The rhubarb's fighting to come out against the... It's nice, don't get me wrong, it is really nice. Schweppes still for me. Right, so they're the sort of plainish tonics. This side, I've got some different things going on. Now, you might not have seen that before. That's a brand that complements, that's the 3 out of that one. So this is a pomegranate and basil tonic. Ocado, you get them 4 packs on Ocado at the moment. When I'm publishing this at the moment, they are £2.50 for 4. But normally, I mean, I pay about 12-13 quid a case for my supplies of 24. But Ocado, I do like to keep that because I do a lot of videos to tell you this stuff. Ocado do these, Amazon probably do these as well. So pomegranate and basil, let's give that a try. That's not my dog, by the way. Oh, that works. Oh, that's really nice. that you can really taste the rhubarb against the pomegranate. I don't get too much basil, but that pomegranate and rhubarb. Who knew? That's really good actually, really like that. Right, so mixer number 5, where are we? Now this is pretty new, as we are, where are we, June 2018. This is probably a few months out in the market now, maybe a bit longer. This is Fentimans Mediterranean. Now, where I said that is lemon and thyme, Fentimans have gone the opposite way with their Mediterranean. It's very orangey. And Valencian orange and lemon tonic. To quote the bottle, lemon thyme. Valencian orange and lemon thyme. Now I like that, I've had that quite a lot. Let's see what it's like with the rhubarb gin. Again, you can tell, can't you? It's nice, it's really, really nice. Not as nice as that for me at the moment. I get more orange than the rhubarb. Yeah. I would serve it, I would definitely 100% serve it, but for me, for my own palate, not quite. Right, the final one, number 6. Going back to Fever Tree. Now sometimes I do use, I should have got a can, it's just over there, San Pellegrino limonata for my gin bars, because some people don't want tonic waters, they don't like the quinine, and I find that actually works really well. I use the limonata quite a lot with Tarquin's blackberry gin, slow gins as well, any kind of real deep fruity gins, the limonata works quite well. However, I have used this before, lemon tonic with Warner Edwards, with the rhubarb. It is lovely. It is a lovely, lovely drink. But if you want to taste the rhubarb, you lose it. You lose the rhubarb, definitely. But as a finished drink, that is so refreshing. That, I tell you what, nice summer day, baking hot, sod your pims and lemonade. Get on that. That is a lovely, lovely drink, hot summer's day. But you lose the rhubarb. I will say that, you do lose the rhubarb. So, my favourite out of those 6, actually, is pretty close between those two. I'm going to put the pomegranate and basil in first, actually, and Schweppes tonic in second. That is my recommended serves for that. However, I could not do a Warner Edwards Rhubarb Gin video without Fever Tree Ginger Ale, because this is such a phenomenal drink. I've got my gin balloon there. I'm going to have this to drink. That's why I've left it till last. So I stuck about half a shot in there to start off with. About half a shot of gin to start off with. So so half a shot is about 15 ml. Yeah. So just to tie that off, let's just go over there. I'm going to do 45 ml of ginger ale, just so we're at exactly the same ratios as what we are there, 1 to 3. So 45 ml. Pop that in there. Now, does this, I love this drink, but actually does this compete with this? Oh, it does. Oh, it does. Oh, actually. Oh. Right. If you want the rhubarb to come through, if you want to physically taste the big rhubarb flavours, definitely 100% Schweppes or Double Dutch basil and pomegranate, definitely 100% those two. If you want a lovely, refreshing summertime drink, I'll tell you what, those two. Now, as I say, you will lose the rhubarb kind of taste for the purists, but Fever Tree Lemon Tonic, Fever Tree Ginger Ale. They make some absolutely, oh, that's a stunking drink. I'm going to drink all these later. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. If you tried Warner Edwards Rhubarb before, how do you mix it? Do you use it in cocktails? I won't mention this, but I do have a cocktail recipe that I use this in as well. Lovely martini. But that's been my review of Warner Edwards Victoria Rhubarb Gin. Supermarkets. Actually, I don't know about supermarkets. Hold that thought. Waitrose probably. Waitrose do it. Ocado definitely do it. I'll drop links to Amazon. I'll drop links to my online supplies, thedrinkshop.com, in the show notes. But I get it through my suppliers. I've got a couple of suppliers where I get that through. It ranges between, where are we? Let's include VAT. Probably about £34-35 a bottle. Okay, so not a cheapo gin, but you get what you pay for. So, as I say, 40% gin. It's not a liqueur. It's a proper full strength gin. That's been Warner Edwards Victoria Rhubarb Gin. Let me know what you think. Let me know when you've tried it. Drop me a message. Oh, go and try it now. Go and order some. I've been Steve the Barman. I'll catch you in episode 2.